Speaking of contagious things.
Yes.
Oh, hello. The Hangout is live.
Oh, then I guess we should stop talking about contagious things.
Yes. No more contagion talk. Now it's geocache talk.
No, it's outrageous talk.
Wait a minute. That's a different podcast.
Yeah. I can't remember which podcast we're on. Oh, wait. I think I know. In fact, let's go ahead and start this one right now.
Sounds good.
Here we go.
Oh, and welcome to Caching in the Northwest, the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. We'll talk about caches and caches unique to this little corner of the country tonight. So, while you're driving the Chevy to the levee, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
And we can't do that without bringing in our caching chimp. Some say he must get permission from the Prime Minister himself before he places another Earth cache. And others say he's been knighted by the Queen as geocaching royalty. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Thank you very much. And now it's actually Sir Land Monkey, and I really appreciate if you'd use that for the rest of the podcast. Thank you.
Of course, Sir Land Monkey.
Yeah, I've also often found you surly.
That's right. All right. Hey, you know what? We want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters, as we do at the beginning of every podcast, because we appreciate, of course, the Denali level supporters. That would be Limax, Team Squirrel, and WorldCaching.com. But we appreciate all our supporters because you guys help make sure that this show is possible every single week through your support. It means a lot to us. So thank you very much, which is why we do special things for the patrons. All of you patrons should have received by now some special patron gifts that we've been getting out over the last several months. And there is some more cool, awesome surprise content just for patrons coming up soon. And we'll talk about that later. But if you are interested in how to get in on all this Patreon coolness, just go to the cachingnw.com website, look over on the left-hand side for the Patreon link and click on it and just see what happens. It's going to be awesome, I promise. All right. So while you're clicking on the Patreon link and listening to the dulcet tones of Sir Land Monkey, hey, we want to let you guys know that tonight we are going to talk about some geocaching news. We've got a lot of interesting geocaching news. We're going to have a little recap as well from our adventures at the Tri-Cities Geocoin Challenge. However, before we get started on all of that, we want to remind you that not only has geocaching.com spent many hours updating your profile page, not only have you spent endless hours thumbing through HTML code, updating your profile page, but we want to help you. Help us help you. Caching the Northwest will give you your very own geocaching log of the week or glow badge for your profile page. Chris of the Northwest, please tell us more.
Well, let me tell you what they won, Johnny. No, you'll win a glow badge. So whether you wrote it or you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. Send an email to feedback@cachingnw.com. Better yet, call into 253-693-TFTC or use the handy voicemail tool right there on the website and show us how you glow.
Yes, we love the glows, and this week's glow comes from Wrong Way, Mommy. It's GC code GC73Q4N. N like Nancy. And this is an interesting log because, well, it's a little different than some because, near as I can tell, it looks like it rhymes. Let's jump in and find out, shall we? The party has started. The gang is all here, converging on the 4 cities like we do every year. A group this size is bound to bring fear. Little do the muggles know, we're all about cheer. The adult amongst us, RMB, pretends he can't hear, as we take turns being everyone's favorite musketeer. For we were vehicles loaded with gear, and so far today we've hit no deer. Grandkids rock and Blue Meanie like to jeer, while cruising for cash and Trevor and Kate learn how to steer. Followed by 3 that we hold dear. Woodsy 1, Twinkerbell 90, and Echo and Bad Brad were always near. Behind them came another group of mountaineer, rounding out the BC part of the US of BC with amazing atmosphere. Pirates and gladiators, but none was an auctioneer, although there was Purple Stain and a singing angel for our souvenir. A blast was had, laughing was at a premiere, and no matter what, we knew we were going to persevere. Vehicle hopscotch and wrong turns appear, but no matter what our driving, always could commandeer. The delight this event and these caches bring is severe, so thank you to one and all, each fabulous volunteer.
It seems like a lot of work went into that log.
Yeah.
Wow. Who knew that many words in the English language rhymed?
Exactly.
I would say that Wrong Way Mommy did.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was also going to say the one line in there actually kind of rang true for folks who live in Canada. The part about laughing at a premiere. We often laugh at our premieres in the various provinces, so I can relate to that part. But anyways,
Yeah.
Great glow. Thank you very much. So was that sent in by Wrong Way Mommy?
I actually saw it while looking at some of the Tri-Cities geocaching pages.
Ooh.
Tri-Cities Geocoin Challenge 2017. That's a very fresh glow. I mean, it's right out of the oven.
Glow badge for you, Chris of the Northwest.
Well, thank you.
And you,
I do have one on my account. I had to think for a moment. Do I have one on my own account? I think I was the test.
the beta user.
Yes. So we went out and found many caches this weekend, but I'm sure you did as well. If there's a milestone cache you're celebrating, why not call it in to 253-693-TFTC and share it with our Northwest community. You can also use the voicemail tool on the website. And we have a contest this month. Did you know? Of course you did. We want you to win a Canada-themed trackable. So we're looking for iTunes reviews. If you don't have an iTunes account, you can call in or email us your Canada Day plans, because all the world is celebrating Canada, right?
Legit. Yeah.
Now, we're going to do a special point system that we don't normally do for giveaways on this one. If you give an iTunes review, you get 2 entries. Oh. If you call in, you get 2 entries. If you email, you get 1 entry.
So that's a maximum of?
There was something else. How did we get 7 points last week? I've suddenly forgotten now.
Use the voicemail tool on the website.
The voicemail tool on the website.
Yeah, voicemail tool on the website. That's right. That's not a call-in.
So you can get 7 entries and basically load the contest if you really want to get those Canadian trackables.
That's exactly right.
And then go buy another cell phone plan and make another geocaching account and make another phone call, and then open a new email account and send a different email.
That'd totally be worth winning a trackable.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now we know why there's so many geocaching.com users.
Because of the podcast contests.
Exactly. Hey, did you know? Well, you of course you didn't know. You haven't had a chance to. But I want to give you an idea. Stark Cacher called in this week. He used the voicemail tool on the website.
That's 2 points.
Yes. That's 2 points, 2 entries for him. And right now he's ahead. So let's have a listen to Stark Cacher's Canada Day plans.
This is Stark Cacher from Toledo in the Ohio Northwest with my plans for the Canada Day weekend. One of our local caches decided to hold 2 Canada Day events at 9:30 on Saturday and Sunday mornings. That way, if someone can't make it to one event, they could probably make it to the other. Then another cacher published a Where in the World is Signal event at 6:30 p.m. Sunday. So I'm planning on attending all 3 of these events.
There you go. Does that get him 3 souvenirs?
You know, it would only seem fair, and it would probably be the Canadian way to do it.
Yeah.
but I'm not sure that that's what's actually going to happen. He'll definitely get one souvenir, but I'll tell you what he will get. One souvenir plus 2 entries to the contest is 3 things.
There you go.
You did that math in your head.
I'm amazing at adding numbers that can fit on one hand.
Oh, hey, one thing I mentioned, if you leave an iTunes review and you have a different name on iTunes than you do for geocaching.com, let us know what that is so we can credit you.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's going to be sad because you'll miss your 2 entries.
Otherwise, Wits End, I think, gets all those entries.
I think that's what we decided last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Send us your iTunes account password too while you're at it.
And credit card, mother's maiden
We can
name,
make
and
all
date of
kinds
birth.
of things happen.
You have no idea how many entries you'll get for doing that.
Yeah,
You really have no idea.
that's a mystery.
It's a mystery, that.
All right. Well, speaking of mysteries, there's a mysterious pirate themed event coming up soon after Canada Day. But I mean, really, all the focus is on Canada's 150th celebration.
The sesquicentennial.
The sesquicentennial coming up this weekend. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more later about that. But in the meantime, the next big thing rolling out of geocaching.com after the Canada's sent us. Okay, I can't do it. Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Thank you, Wits End. You've done it long enough that it's burned into my my brain now.
Yes, the Sasquatch Centennial. Got it.
I was just going to go there. All right. So the next thing after the Sasquatch Centennial is the pirate events that are going on with geocaching.com, and more souvenirs to be earned by attending events. So we've all heard the little story that they shared where the bottle washed up at Geocaching HQ. Subsequent to that, they've shared some interesting stuff on their blog. So, the quickest thing, just go to the geocaching.com/blog. You'll find all this stuff, but they've got some helpful ideas to help plan a pirate event. So ideas such as, well, first of all, reminder that the dates are July 15th and 16th, which means that Saturday, July 1st, will be the last day that you can actually submit an event for that. So if you're thinking about doing it, pull the trigger, buddy. Let's get on it.
If you're listening live, get it done now.
Yeah,
exactly.
By the time this hits the feed, too late.
Too late. All right. So, as they say, there's only 3 things every geocaching event needs in order to stand out: a theme, entertaining games, and geocachers. Having geocachers at your geocaching event always helps, I find. Good advice.
Not necessarily. I've been to geocaching events with non-geocachers.
Where it was entirely non-geocacher?
No.
Okay.
Well, not that they knew it was a geocaching event.
All right. So some ideas they've had is let your attendees know that they're in the right spot by hoisting a Jolly Roger flag or marking the spot with an X using sidewalk chalk.
That's how I signed my name, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
By hoisting a Jolly Roger flag, I mean.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, no.
That's what I would assume. No worries. Hey, so, all kinds of great ideas. So we have one going on. So if you're going to be up in the New Westminster or, anywhere in Metro Vancouver on July 15th, and you got nothing to do that evening and you want a souvenir, well, you know what? Come on out to New Westminster. We're going to have it along the riverfront. We're going to have a fun event. Let's just say that 6 Noisy Hikers, Land Monkey, and Dora Moore are planning the event. So you can kind of start to think that we might have some ideas up our sleeves.
Nice.
That's 3 groups of people who generally are reasonably creative. So,
and those are 3 groups of people that have never been in my kitchen.
Well, one of them has.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Anyways, if you want to find out more about that event and some of the ideas we've had around that, check out GC77NRK. That's GC77NERK.
NERK.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come and join our event if you're able to do that as well. If you want some more tips and info on hosting a pirate-themed event, make sure tomorrow, not tonight because I haven't had a chance to get everything on there, but tomorrow check out Land Monkey's blog. That's landmonkey.blogspot.ca. I don't even know my own URL. It's okay. I'm not at the end of the show notes, so I'm all messed up. But landmonkey.blogspot.ca, and you can look there today, but I've only started the article. It's not finished. We're going to have all kinds of great tips and tricks in there about hosting the themed event. And
Does
remember, you
that
don't have,
include a pirate hat as well?
well, yeah, we're going to have a Caching in the Northwest themed pirate hat plan as a downloadable for that as well. Thank you very much, Chris in the Northwest, for
Oh, you're welcome. That was fun to build.
awesome. So, yeah, like I said, that'll be up tomorrow. And remember, you don't have to have the whole theme and everything all done by July 1st. You just have to have the event submitted by July 1st, and then you have time to work on it. So, just get that, pick a spot, submit it to your local helpful reviewer, and
Then learn all about pirates.
Learn all about pirates. Cool. Thank you very much for the support on that, guys.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey,
All
guys. Well, one thing I want to
Yeah.
quickly mention that we've been talking about is our hike to Monte Cristo. That's coming up July 29th. That is exactly 1 month away from today.
Ooh.
Now, if you're listening to this afterwards, it's not even close, but that doesn't matter.
I am really looking forward to that hike. We've got a very, very busy summer of different activities that we're doing, but one of the highlights is definitely going to be the Monte Cristo hike with my good friends and our listeners, some of whom are also my good friends, and some are friends that I haven't yet met.
And some are good, but not necessarily friends.
Are some friends but not good?
Yes.
And we've hit the awkward stage of the podcast.
That's
Right.
where I come in usually.
Nobody mentioned names here, okay?
Good.
So July 29th, I'm going to post in an event very soon. I don't want it to get lost in all these summer events coming up.
Good call.
And we will do a hike to Monte Cristo with the Caching in the Northwest group.
Sweet. All right. Hey, you guys remember, you got to think back because this hasn't happened very often at all. It's an incredibly rare occurrence.
My think backer is broken.
Okay. Well, maybe you might have some sort of recollection about Land Monkey, that would be me, being a little, just a little bit disappointed that numerous trackable contests have come out that have not allowed Canadians to participate. I know you really have to recall back to kind of think about that happening.
Disappointed is so much of a nicer word than what I was going to use.
There's that. So guess what?
So much more family friendly.
There you go. Guess what? Mountain Warehouse. I love Mountain Warehouse. Mountain Warehouse has decided that not only can the US have yet another trackable contest, but you know what? Great Britain can have one, and Germany can have one, and Poland can have one, and Canada can have one. That's right. And I have had the opportunity to make it out to Mountain Warehouse and picked up my trackable. There he is. There's Moose Willis.
Moose.
That's right. And of course, it's a moose. So watch my social media feed to see what Moose Willis will get up to starting this weekend. But you know what? If you live anywhere proximate to a Mountain Warehouse store, you can't order these ones online like some of the other trackable contests. You have to go in person to a retail outlet and just ask them for a geocaching trackable, and they will give you one. Then all you need to do, start posting your pictures on social media with hashtag MWGeotrail and hashtag contest, and you can be entered into the chance to win exciting prizes. So there's 3 different trackables that they can give you. It's only one per person, but you can get either Merrill Sheep, Moose Willis, or Jimmy Talon while supplies last. And again, share their journey on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter using the hashtags MWGeotrail, hashtag contest. The contest is going to run from June 13th, so it's already underway, until September 13th. So lots of time on this one. Get out there, get your trackables. Prizes do include 2 flights anywhere in the world.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
Like
Even Canada.
Easter Island?
Anywhere in the world. I guess anywhere in the world that has an airport.
Okay.
A family day out. Or, and I love this part, 100 pounds worth of Mountain Warehouse goodies. Now, when they say 100 pounds, I don't think they actually mean the measure of weight. I believe they mean the British currency.
Yeah, that's the currency symbol. So
That's funny because Britain is still using the euro at this point.
Hmm.
Are they not?
I think it depends who you ask. Let's say 100
well,
quid.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Limax took the words right out of my mouth. Moose and squirrel?
No, just moose.
And
Moose.
Broncos fans for life wants to know, are they open on Sunday?
Yes, they are.
There you go.
And there's one in Langley. And there's one in Tsawwassen. And there's one in Burnaby, I think. So if you're coming up here into my neck of the woods, that's where they are.
And Brylang says that's like $160 in Canadian.
That's about right.
Oh, Subway Mark says Britain still uses the pound. Britain does not use the euro. I apologize.
There you go. We have been corrected by people who have visited recently.
I was misinformed.
Mm-hmm. All right. So again, if you want to find out more about the promotion itself, you can go to Mountain Warehouse's website. They got all kinds of information there,
including whether those 2 flights anywhere in the world are round trip or one way.
Well, they're 2 one-way flights.
So one person.
Yeah.
No, please do not follow what we are saying on this show as actual rules of the contest. Go read it for yourself because we're just making stuff up again.
Well, no, I was making. I said that you can get the details on the website as to whether or not those flights are one way or round trip.
Okay, fair enough. And then we started speculating. All right.
I just planted seeds of doubt. And it actually, well, you know,
you're so helpful, my friend.
That's one word for it.
Got any news to share?
I have some news to share from Keppertova.com.
I'm sorry, from which?
It's from Keppertova.com.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's KEPRTV.com, but Keppertova.com is so much more fun to say.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please.
There's a vowel. It's an E in there. It's a little local news agency in what? The Tri-Cities. Have you ever been to the Tri-Cities?
I think so.
All 4 of them?
Correct.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing about the Tri-Cities. I don't know how to count them.
Amongst the funny things about the Tri-Cities are such diverse elements.
It's an exchange rate when you cross to the eastern side of the state. I think that's what it is. Gotcha. The little news story from Keppertova.com says, Tri-Cities, Washington. People from all over the world came to the Tri-Cities this weekend for a special scavenger hunt.
Indeed.
Geocachers grabbed their smartphones and hunted for hidden objects by using GPS coordinates. The 2017 GeoCoin Challenge, I think I've heard of that before somewhere, attracted more than 600 people searching for dozens of caches camouflaged around the Tri-Cities. And I think I know some people that might have been there. We're going to hear more from them, I think.
Wrong Way Mommy was there.
Barely. And rhymed all the way through.
That's a long, hot day of rhyming.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like every time you guys have that event, it's hot over there. Maybe they should have that event in January.
Maybe.
Anyway, you know who the first one to find all of them was? Or the first team? It was a brother and sister.
Well, I was going to say, I know who it wasn't.
I know it wasn't me. Jacob Murray and his sister Tina Murray were the first to find them all. He said, we were definitely going for it, so we pushed ourselves pretty hard. And she said, we ran and worked really hard. So no word as to whether they had fun, but they worked really hard. It's the 3rd year in a row that they have been the first ones back. Winners received 4 collector's coins for the Tri-Cities.
There you go. And what do you get for being the first one back?
You get 4 coins.
What do you get for being the 37th person back?
You get 4 coins.
What do you get for being the 107th person back?
Well, if there's only 100 coins, you get squat. But I think there's more than that.
There is.
That's like, what do you call the person who's passed medical school with the lowest score?
A doctor. Yeah. So
no, happy for them. If that's their thing to get back first, let them have it.
Exactly. Congratulations, Jacob and Tina, for your hard work. We hope you actually enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, have some fun. But
there you go.
Our our very own Team Squirrel finished third and did them
Oh.
all.
Nice.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a
So-
good point. It's one thing to finish first with enough caches / points to claim the coins. It's another thing to
Mhm.
finish first and have finished them all.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this year, well, we'll talk about it in a little bit. There were a couple of interesting things. Hey,
What?
if you happen to be in Washington State and you're thinking, it's a holiday weekend, especially for Canadians,
Mhm.
it's nearly a holiday weekend for Americans, let's go to a state park.
Seems legit.
Yeah, maybe not. Governor Inslee asked state parks to stay open Friday despite tentative budget deal. State parks were set to close early on Friday because of the extra time needed to prepare in case of a shutdown. But Governor Jay Inslee has asked them to stay open. No enforcement. That didn't need to be in there.
Hashtag FATAS.
Thank you. Inslee sent out a statement on Wednesday announcing that following all-night negotiations, House and Senate have reached an agreement in principle that would avoid a partial shutdown. Under the contingency plans, all state parks would close July 1st, and Washington State operates more than 100 parks. We know that because there was a geo tour that went to every state park. Washington State Parks released the following statement. Because adequate time is needed to prepare the parks for closure, state parks will be closed on Friday unless the agency receives notification and guidance from the governor's office on Thursday, that's today, that legislatures are certain to approve a budget in time for it to be enacted by the deadline. So staff parks will need to evacuate campers from the park in the morning of Friday, June 30th, and will not allow day use visitors, new campers entry to the parks on Friday.
So
Wow.
that sucks.
Yeah.
When will, like, if you monitor the website for Washington State Parks, will they be posting the status of the parks in case it doesn't close, or if it does close, so people can know what they're doing?
I don't know. I heard this on the radio today, and the announcer was talking, saying, it's ironic. We have homeless people camping on the streets in downtown Seattle, yet we're going to kick people out of the parks who are paying to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't make plans to go to a state park this weekend.
Or if you do, don't go in through the main gate.
Yeah, sneak in through the back.
Nobody's going to be there to enforce it, apparently.
Well, this is true.
So,
Oh, yeah. Airdrop in. It should be fine.
sure.
Use that paratrooper training.
What else have you been doing with it?
Yeah, seriously. All right. Well, I would suggest checking the Washington State Parks website if you're concerned, curious, etc., about what's going on there. I would assume that's going to be the place where there's going to at least be relatively current information, unless
And I'm sure the major news
running the website and it's stale information.
And I'm sure the major news outlets will cover that as well, at least the Washington-based ones.
Fair enough. It would be smart. Those highway signs with that where they can change the information on them.
Mm-hmm.
Putting some of those out along the I-5. All state parks closed this weekend, or all state parks open this weekend.
Or we're not sure. Give it a shot.
State parks might be open. And they might not be. You need a bigger sign. You're going to need a bigger boat. All right.
Latu Barada Nickel.
Oh, dear. Hey, you know what? I can't remember if we talked about this last week or not, but I think I did because this sounds familiar. But the tag your friends in a log function. Yes, I did. I brought that up last week, the tag your friends in a log function. Suggested people check it out. Have had a little bit of feedback on my social media about what people think about it. There's some people who feel they would never, ever use it. Other people who feel they would. Actually, for me, it was a reminder that there's somebody who I would like to have in my geocaching friends list that I didn't have in my geocaching friends list when I went to go tag them in a log. And they didn't come up. No, you're in there.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. No, it was one of our listeners who I cached with, and I realized, oh, they're not in my friends list. So I took steps to try and correct that. But I think it's a cool idea. I personally like it. I think it's a great addition to the logs on geocaching.com to be able to hit the @ key and pop up a list of your geocaching friends that you can tag. When you do that and submit your log, the tagged friend will receive an email notification that they've been tagged, and they can open up and read the log. So it's kind of like, I mean, they're trying to include more social media-esque type features and functions into geocaching.com. And I don't really have a problem with that because it's an opt-in, opt-out kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can choose to do it or not.
So
I think it's cool.
go ahead.
It's quick and easy because I used to always, when we would go out caching together, you could do short code, HTML code in log. And I would often include a tag to Chris of the Northwest profile because we've been out together and things. And he never got any notifications that I did it. So it was kind of stealthy.
I
So
had
now
no
they
idea
still know.
how my name was being abused.
I know.
Sneaky.
And if you go back and look at those old logs from before geocaching.com upgraded all of that system, all that ugly short code stuff is still there because I'm too lazy to go back and change it.
Yeah. Now, Project GC has a tool for fixing that, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Project.
And I think it works really well.
Hmm.
You have to be a premium member for that. I don't believe so.
I'm not sure, but we should have Project GC on the podcast soon and
I'm
find out.
working on it.
There you go. We could go update all my old logs live and on the podcast because I haven't bothered.
That'd be terribly exciting audio.
Wouldn't that be thrilling? Look at
Stay
it go.
tuned
There it
next
goes.
week
Yeah. Here,
while
listen,
we update Wits End's
Yeah.
logs.
listen to me click.
Wait, was that a
that's
double
funny.
click? What is he doing now?
The suspense of it all.
Land Monkey.
Yeah.
Did you get a bunch of emails because I tagged you?
I did.
Oh, so many.
I think 2 or 3 you tagged me in.
Okay. Here's
And
what I did.
Tell me.
I created this was for the Tri-Cities Cash Machine or Tri-Cities Geocoin Challenge. I apologize to the Tri-City. All 4 of them. And I created a log. I was going to copy and paste it. Well, it doesn't keep the @Land Monkey in the paste.
Oh, interesting.
So I could go back over, delete Land Monkeys in the type a new and put in Land Monkey. That would work. Or once you submit it, you can look at the short code for it or the code for it. And I copied that and put it in there at that point. So
Very cool.
that I just was curious to see if your name was mentioned in any log, if you would get an email, or just the ones that were specifically mentioned.
I think just the ones where you specifically did that because there's only about 3, I think 2 or 3 that popped up that you had mentioned me in. Thank you very much.
And the rest were copy and paste.
The rest were copy and paste.
You
Well,
were mentioned in the rest.
awesome. Thank you. Hey,
But they did
cool thing. When we were at the wrap up for the Tri-Cities event, I had the opportunity to talk with Jamie of Ben and Jamie, who she's not the product manager for this specific function per se, but one of the team members that she works with had done the development of this tag a friends function. And what I thought was kind of cool is learning a little bit on the inside about how things work at geocaching.com. This was actually a pet project that one of the developers had. They came up with this idea. So geocaching.com does something that a lot of big development shops do. They have some people call it a Flex Friday. There's different names for it. Google does this as well. But it's either a day a month or a day every 2 weeks or whatever it is that people are allowed to kind of just work on their own ideas, their own projects, obviously related to something to do directly or indirectly with the business. And one of the developers had this idea of, wouldn't it be cool if I could tag my friends in my logs? So this was his idea that he'd just been working on as a pet project, presented it to the rest of the team. The rest of the team thought, yeah, great, let's do it. So they just put a little bit of polish on it and rolled it out. So it was really interesting learning that from Jamie, and I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
Besides the
is
fact
cool.
that I always love talking to Ben and Jamie.
Well, that's true.
So that was neat. It was kind of neat to learn sort of the history or the background behind how that function came to be. It's kind of neat.
Right. You think, oh, well, of course, they had a large meeting and everybody was in a room and they determined this is the highest priority project.
Yeah. So no, they work pretty dynamically there, which is cool. And we've seen that now that they've sort of changed the way that they're doing their programming and their rollout. And I think it's working really well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Enough.
Becoming a nimble organization.
Yeah. Enough on that topic. Let's keep moving.
Let's talk about Munsies.
Okay.
Wow. The silence is overwhelming. Hey, Munsie has introduced a virtual swap. This is from the Munsie blog. Wouldn't it be great if you could easily swap out old virtual Munsies and popular destinations for newer ones worth more points? Well, now you can. We're excited to announce you can easily swap out many virtual Munsies. Using the Munsie website, you can now go back to your older virtual type Munsies and swap out new virtual types and MVMs. That's mystery virtual Munsies. Using the Vert Swap tool, you can instantly archive your old virtual type Munsie and deploy the new one in the exact same spot. No waiting periods and no losing your spot. It also opens up the opportunity for players to recapture high density areas if new virtuals are deployed. So there you go. You can go out and spruce up all those virtual spots, say Disneyland, that you've already cleared out. Because, that's possible. This means I have to make another trip up to Geocaching HQ to clear out the Munsies there again.
There you go. Just more Munsies. Just no shortage of the ways that you can keep deploying Munsies.
Exactly.
You got to hand it to Rob Vardaman and the team at Munsie.com. They're pretty creative in coming up with new ways of getting new stuff. I just can't keep up with the stuff that's coming out of there.
Yeah, they are prolific.
That is one word for it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, there's all these special Munsies coming up and I go, what is that on the map?
Yeah, it's crazy. They should release like a $1.36 t-shirt for that.
Yeah, they should.
Classic.
Rob bought them all up.
I bet he did. All right. Well, hey, I want to talk about Canada.
You always talk about Canada. Let's talk about something else.
Nope. We're going to talk about Canada. You know why I want to talk about Canada?
Oh, Canada?
Oh, Canada. One of the reasons I want to talk about Canada is because Canada gets a country souvenir. So, in your face.
To whom?
Please. And thank you. Sorry, just don't witch. What were you going to say?
To whom were you saying in your face? All the other countries?
Any other country that doesn't have a country souvenir.
Does Germany have an official country souvenir or just for the States?
I think just for the are they called states in Germany? I don't think they are.
I want to say they are, but anyway.
Okay. But anyways, I don't think there's a country souvenir. I'm not sure. I don't think the US has a country souvenir. I think it's just per state. So,
Oh, Limax says the United States doesn't get a souvenir.
Yep. Well, sucks for you. Anyways, there is now a country souvenir for Canada, and it's pretty cool. I like it. It prominently features our national animal and a really nice, serene mountain lake scene that kind of looks like it's in the Rockies. Almost looks Lake Louise-esque. So really nice artwork. Love it. So the statement says Canada has many wonders, diverse landscapes, rich history, and an abundance of adventures, plus plenty of geocaches near and far to show you every corner of this beautiful country. And now Canada has the added bonus of being the latest addition to the geocaching country souvenir collection. So there you go. Yeah, you can check that out. Some maple leaves and a beaver and a big bold Canada, as there's a beautiful mountain lake scene there. It just looks like a lot of places I've hiked. So it says if you've already found a geocache in Canada, you'll automatically receive the souvenir on your profile over the next few days. I know Brian Lang had been asking, when's it coming? We don't have specific details yet. Just next few days is what we know.
Somebody said they've already received one.
Hmm.
Oh, there you go.
And Brylang says it's not Lake Louise, it's Moline Lake in Jasper National Park.
Well, there you go. I have not read the details on that yet. I said it was Lake Louise-esque. And it wasn't Lake Louise because it has that island in the middle, but that's cool.
Yeah, the island reminded me of Crater Lake.
All right. Moline Lake. Thank you very much, Brylang. All right. So
I have my Canada souvenir.
Oh, did it come in?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's gorgeous. Everybody should get one.
Well, everybody who comes to Canada and finds
You
a
get a
geocache.
souvenir, and you get a souvenir, and you get a souvenir.
Right on. Rock and roll. All right. Well, that is an awful lot of news. I mean, man, we've gone for quite a while here just talking about all the different news stories and general chit chat that we generally do at the beginning of a podcast and through the middle of a podcast and towards the end of a podcast.
Bryling's getting impatient.
Getting impatient.
Yes, Bryling says, talk about the Tri-Cities and get on with the show.
Tri-Cities. Oh, is that what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
There's
hey,
episode content. That's live.
Even that. This is like bonus content now for you guys. All right. Thank you for your patience and waiting through.
Should we just hit the after show sound and move on?
Yeah, almost. Well, hey, you know what? So yeah, let's talk about Tri-Cities a little bit more. And we did talk about the Tri-Cities a little bit earlier, but let's get into a little bit more about our personal experiences with respect to the Tri-Cities. So guys, last weekend, Mrs. Land Monkey and I spent the day on Saturday with Chris of the Northwest at the Tri-Cities GeoCoin Challenge. I regretfully have to share that Wits End could not make it there to join us. So we did not have the entire band together, but that will be remedied shortly.
We're going to get the band back together.
That's right, man.
Hey, we did capture just a little bit of audio. We were too busy having fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
And
Did you work hard?
Mrs. Land Monkey really
We didn't work hard because we didn't finish first.
Okay.
Yeah. She really pushed us hard. Okay, come on, get moving. That's enough talking.
Chop, chop.
So I have a little bit of audio here, and if I move things just right, you can listen to it. Let's see. Here we go.
We are on the 2017 Tri-Cities GeoCoin Challenge. It is hot.
It is melt the face off a Nazi hot.
It is fire and ice of the Mid-Columbia. We have seen a lot of fire and very little ice. So I have to say, at the very beginning, to get your map, the map was in a baggie, and that baggie was in another baggie full of ice.
That was clever.
It was
I like
frozen
that.
in, yeah. There were a lot of people breaking the ice to madly get that map and get going and start their day.
Hey, so while we started talking about the event and all the cool and hot stuff going on, I don't think we mentioned who's here and who isn't here. So
Chris of the Northwest is here.
Chris of the Northwest and Land Monkey, and
This is Land Monkey.
that's right. And that's rounding out what's in our Geomobile for this trip. But hey, you know who's missing?
Is Wits End. Yes. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us today. It would have been a lot of fun to have all three of us together, all four of us together, and be able to do this.
Maybe next weekend.
Oh, let's do it next weekend.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
There's something going on next weekend.
No, we'll talk about that.
It involves a whole nother country.
Do I need to turn anywhere?
Yeah, we need to stop and find a geocache.
Okay.
So yes, I was driving while we were recording that. So
That's right. And, there were some interesting caches on that. I think Jen at the Tri-Cities did a great job this year. She produced a map that was frozen in ice. And on that map, there were some punches. You had to write code words. So made it very difficult to cheat. because people will do that.
She was very explicit at the kickoff for the event of the only passport papers that will be honored for redeeming for your 4 coins are ones that are intact.
Yes, apparently in the past, people have ripped them in half or thirds and even quarters, perhaps, and sent people on their way and get them all back together. Well, you can't do that this time.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, though. So yeah, they did a great job. I believe Jen owes us an interview. We just could not find her after the event.
She was a little busy that day.
She was a lot busy that day. So we are looking forward to talking to her in the near future when we can wrangle her down and get her on the show. She's always a great guest. And we're really curious to hear more about the planning and the execution of the event and perhaps the aftermath.
The aftermath. No, it's a different.
Yeah, that's different.
It was a great experience though. So 28 caches, is that
32.
32. All right.
There were 8 per city. 4 cities. I know it's confusing. Tri-cities, 4 cities. So that makes 32 caches. Now, you didn't have to find them all in order to get your coins. You needed to find 7 per city to get your coin set.
Including the ones that had the punch, or did it matter?
Didn't matter. 7 per city. 2 per city had a punch. So you were bound to get at least 1 punch. Then there were 2 mystery caches or puzzle caches. If you did those 2 puzzle caches, you only had to get 6 per city. So we found the puzzle caches were relatively easy, even though they had an error in them, in one of them that made it that much more difficult.
There you go. That wasn't too bad.
No, not bad at all.
You did a great job on the puzzle solving while we were on the road there, Chris of the Northwest. Thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. You did a great job of driving, even when Siri had no idea where we were.
There are some interesting events. That is true.
Boy.
Anytime driving with the land monkeys is guaranteed to have some interest.
Yeah.
We did not drive into any lakes.
No.
We did not drive onto any beaches.
No.
I had specific instructions to stay out of the sand.
Did you?
Yeah, on the way down. That was before you joined us. It was now here's the rules. No, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, found all the caches together, had a great time driving all over the Tri-Cities. I think that's one of the things I really like about that GeoCoin event is that they definitely make sure that you get all over the place. You get to the corners of the Tri-Cities. It's not just like, okay, here's, sort of the central parks and we'll just clump the caches together. You definitely get to the corners of all 4 cities: Richland, West Richland, Kennewick, and Pasco. And thank you. And on top of that, throughout the trip, we had our own personal tour guide telling us about what he remembers that is no longer there in the different places we went to.
I apologize. Almost every turn we made, I was like, that wasn't here before. Where did that come from? When did they build that?
It was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, my wife and I got there the night before, and we drove in and we're like, wow, this has changed. Okay, we know where the river is, and we were staying near the mall, so the mall had moved. Other than that, we were lost.
I think they added a bridge on you too.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because you said there's the Blue Bridge, there's the Cable Bridge, and then there's, hey, what's that?
How'd that bridge get here?
It was a lot of fun. It was a great time with great friends or a great friend. And we're really looking forward to this weekend coming up as well.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was hot. Now, it wasn't as hot as previous years. We didn't break 100. I think we were at 98. Yeah. So that's apparently, according to my app, that's just hot enough to melt the face off a Nazi. which is now an official unit of measure we will use again.
Oh, we will be using that again. Yeah, I've already used it at work when I was when people are asking how your weekend was. Well, went to the Tri-Cities, and of course we have a Tri-Cities area up here in the Metro Vancouver area that is actually 3 cities. And so when I said I went away, I went to the Tri-Cities, and people are kind of looking at me funny, like, so you drove across the bridge? That's pretty exciting.
Oh boy.
No, Tri-Cities, Washington. And of course, then nobody has any idea what I'm talking about.
Well, because it's 4 cities. I mean, so your Tri-Cities is just 3 cities?
I know, right? It's not Douglas Adams-esque. So
that's still funny. But, well, I mean, if they change it to the Quad Cities, isn't that in Minnesota?
I don't know.
No, that's the Twin
Somewhere-
Cities.
Twin Cities, you're right. There's a Quad City somewhere. Anyway, so, they're known as the Tri-Cities.
Most university campuses have a quad.
We have a couple in our legs.
There you go.
Northwest Illinois and southeastern Iowa is the Quad Cities.
There you go. Thank you, Wits End.
Which ones are they?
It's a good question. I don't know. I'd have to actually open the
No, don't do
Quad
that.
Cities. Oh, there's visitquadcities.com website. How about that?
Well, of course there are.
Davenport and Bettendorf, Iowa, Rock Island and Moline and East Moline, Illinois.
Doesn't roll off the tongue well, does it?
No.
So,
They're Marvels on the Mississippi. Does that roll off the tongue better?
that really does. That's nicely said.
There you go.
It's not the Mid Columbia, but Marvels of the Mississippi. It is river based. Now, also this past weekend, was the Beaverton cash machine.
Oh, there you go.
We didn't go to that.
That's
So-
unfortunate that it aligned with, unfortunate for the cash machine, that it aligned with the Tri-Cities GeoCoin event, because that's tough competition.
It really is. Excuse me. The Tri-Cities is so well done that it does pull from other events that would be happening on the same weekend. So
Yeah. Hey, if people are interested in checking out what the coins look like, I would say check out my Twitter feed and my Instagram feed at LandMonkeyGC. But for those who are watching live, if you haven't had a chance to see the coins this year, really, really nice coins. The video's gonna have a little trouble focusing because they're so shiny. But
if you're in the
definitely-
area, they're also on my dining room table. You can stop by.
okay, there you go. Stop by dining room table, Chris of the Northwest. So yeah, they were each kind of prehistoric animal themed, which was kind of cool. One for each of the 4 cities, of course, and really nice coins. Also, a special shout out, thank you to Team Squirrel, who we saw a couple times, but at the wrap up event, or I guess that's what you call it, at the tail end of the whole day there, they came by and had a special hello and gift for Chris of the Northwest, and that was really nice.
Yes, it was. So thank you very much, Team Squirrel. We appreciate that. And congratulations on your 3rd place finish. I know you guys really pushed hard. And you worked really hard to get that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Team
it
Squirrel,
was-
you know what? I actually really like following Sprouter's Instagram account, because Team Squirrel gets out to some neat places all the time
They are
doing their
always
geocaching. And Sprouter's got a good eye for photography. He posts some really neat photos. I like following them.
nice. We ran into Sprouter and on one of the caches, and
Then we said sorry and picked him up.
yeah, well, I almost was thinking we'll just skip the puzzle caches. We don't have time to solve them. We're running on. And he goes, "Oh no, they're really easy." Oh, well, let me have a look at them then.
It's a little infighting in Team Squirrel there because Broncos fan for life says whatever. Mine's better. Instagram.
Okay, Broncos.
Sorry,
fan,
Broncos
like
fan
you,
for life,
you can put the link to your Instagram on there, and we'll be the judge.
My
I'm just
photos
gonna
are
leave it at that.
my photos are still at the photomat, and
The drive-through.
You know, once you get the role developed, then you can go
Yeah.
look at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You come over and sit in front of my
Upload
slide
them to
projector.
By pushing them into the internet.
I was actually at a Best Buy one day when an elderly woman walked in with her digital camera and said, "I need more film for my digital camera. It's full." So they proceeded to sell her a memory card.
As you do.
Folks, let's talk about, well, that's the wrap up for the
It's been a full episode.
Tri-Cities GeoCoin event. Let's talk about upcoming shows, and then we'll jump into the after show, cover a little bit of the stuff that's been talked about.
Sounds
And
good.
off we go.
Sounds delicious. All right. Hey, upcoming shows. Well, you know what? Next week, July 6th, we're going to talk about how to teach noobs to cache. So that could be fun. And guys, we want your advice. So if you have thoughts, ideas, or experiences about teaching brand new geocachers how to geocache, why don't you send it in to us at feedback@cachingandw.com. We want to hear from you guys. Tell us about your experiences. Tell us about your thoughts and opinions. All right. So that's July 6th, July 13th, episode 207. We're looking forward to Peter Lawrence of Metro Vancouver Parks coming on the show and joining us. That'll be fun.
And then after that, July 20th, we're looking at Project GC. What's the virtual GPS and how do I use it?
Ooh.
And then July 27th is a Land Monkey special. That's creating a puzzle cache or creating a puzzle series. That's actually a Mrs. Land Monkey special, isn't it?
I think so.
Very cool. And that takes us through the month of July, right up to that Monte Cristo hike on July 29th.
Yes, it does.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah. So
Land that way.
this brings to a close this episode for month of June. So until next week and until next month, supposing somebody wanted to find information about one of you fine Tri-Cities GeoCoin event participants, where would they find that, Land Monkey?
Well, you know, now that we're at that part of the show notes, I'll get it right. The website is landmonkey.blogspot.ca. And, you know, we've always got stuff going on there. But where you'll see the most active content is our Twitter and Instagram feed, and that's at LandMonkeyGC. Now, remember as well that we do have a Facebook page, Team Land Monkey, and of course, the videos on Land Monkey on YouTube. There's a little rebranding going on and with the Land Monkeys, and we're just working on some new editing tools and some new content. So as we progress through the summer, there will be new content coming up a little later, but we're in a little bit of a content gap right now on YouTube. But in the meantime, lots of stuff going on Twitter and Instagram and the blog. All right. So Wits End, my friend. How about you?
It would be Wits End on most social media platforms, almost all of them, at least the ones that I find interesting. So look at probably Twitter is your best bet, twitter.com/witsend or witsend.us. There's a few links there. Pretty outdated. Chris of the Northwest, do you?
You know, Facebook, Twitter, not Geo, Google Plus.
There's a Geo in there, and then an OG, and then an LE.
If you rearrange the letters, you can get to what I was going at. Just look for Caching NW in any of those places. You know what? Head on over to cachingNW.com/host. And there you can read our bios and find all the links we mentioned and a few extra.
Ooh, extras.
Until next time, we want to thank you for taking this time to listen to Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. You can call into 253-693-TFPC, leave us a comment, ask us a question, send us banana bread any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingNW.com. Have I told you it's been a long day? Also, your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like this show, please click the Patreon link on the cachingNW.com website. This show's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2017 by Chris Humphrey. And folks, make sure you stay tuned for
The After Show.
there we are. We're in.
The after show.
We made it.
Oh,
Man,
let's
I was
see.
reading through the show notes as you were reading through the close, and I see why you skipped part of it. That's when I kind of started giggling and lost it a little bit. So
You know,
Oh, did something change in there?
yeah.
I wonder how.
I took a few characters out. I just needed to trim a little bit. Just wanted to see what would happen.
Sometimes the show
See if
notes
you can catch
change
us.
dynamically as we're reading along, and it's usually not for good. The
Oh no, that was changed over an hour ago.
oh
There you go.
yeah, after I've already scanned that area and moved on, it says
Oh yeah, duh.
you can leave us a comment, ask a question, or watch Wits End any time of the day or night. I would. I don't have experience in this, but I would tend to shy away from watching Wits End at night. I would turn the fire hose on him during the day anytime.
There you go. That's why you keep a towel in the car.
Exactly.
Clearly, it's a trick question. I never wash anyway.
All right. Hey, did we
Oh, on his days off, he can walk into a room and go, yep, I've been in here.
nice. Do we have any FATAS to talk about?
We do.
All right.
I believe it was Tracy of World Caching. It says Land Monkey. When I look up Mountain Warehouse, it looks like the map points to MEC.
Well, that's interesting. Mountain Equipment Co-op. So MEC is a Canadian company. It's basically the REI of Canada. For those who don't know, it's beside the same mall that Mountain Warehouse is in. So maybe it's just proximate. I don't know. That's kind of weird that it would point to it. But Mountain Warehouse, and I think Bryling's already answered this earlier in the chat, but Mountain Warehouse is in Willowbrook Mall, the Langley branch. I noticed that Wet Coaster had said earlier in the chat that it's also in Guildford Mall in Surrey, and I know there's a couple others. Like I said, there's one out in Tsawwassen at the Tsawwassen Mills, and I'm pretty sure there's one in Metrotown. But anyways, there's a few of them around, and I think it's a great store. I like the variety of products they carry. Mrs. Land Monkey's bought a couple of jackets from them already. And so I also really like the staff in the Langley one. They've been fantastic with us as the trackable contest came in. As soon as the trackable contest was announced, I was in that store like instantly. I'm like, okay, where are the trackables? Well, I wasn't quite that brusque, but it was like, hey, I'm here for the trackables. Do we have any trackables available? And she's, oh yeah, the geocaching contest. So yeah, we haven't received our shipment. They basically went about 2.5 weeks before the shipment came in after the contest was announced that it would be available. So I felt really bad for the staff. But here's the thing. The staff at that store actually started taking people's names and phone numbers down on a list and said, when they come in, we'll call you. And they did. The day that they actually came in, they phoned us. And then, we were at work when they called, and right after work, we headed straight to the store and got our trackable.
That's service there.
Yeah, it is.
It's a Canadian way to do business.
Well, you would like to think that is the way that everybody should do business, but yeah.
I mean, I called support today, and they said, you know what? I don't know how to answer that. Let me call you back. They never did. So I think it's a Canadian thing because this was the U.S. company that called. They need to come back.
There you go. Well, Mountain Warehouse technically is a UK company. So.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So what else is going on? Hashtag FATAS.
Let's see. IHAM says Chris of the Northwest and Wits End are listed as co-hosts for this event because Chris volunteered Wits End for it the other day at lunch. You're welcome.
And that's a Mary Hyde event that IHAM has been working on and just submitted tonight.
Nice. That's cool. Do we have a GC code for it?
No, it hasn't been approved yet.
Hasn't been approved yet.
Oh, but I did see a GC code just pop up from Team Finn.
Team Finn is doing an event on Saturday. That is GC 76 Charlie 3 Delta.
So that'll be a Canada Day event.
Well, that's why the C is in it. And the
There
D.
you go. Very cool.
There's 4 events you can do throughout the day. One by JT Coffee, Wino Seattle, Terrible Teas, and Team Finn.
Nice.
You can get your numbers up just by going to events. Who needs to go all day caching in multiple cities?
There you go. Well, this group here is going to go caching in multiple cities this coming weekend.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. And Sunday morning, we are going to Dora Moore's Canada Day event.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to that. The infamous Cachapult will be there.
Nice.
That is infamous, right? That's beyond famous.
Yes.
Yes. It definitely is beyond famous. I'm looking forward to that very much.
Many people are planning to do Canada Day events in the chat here.
Nice.
Broncos Fan for Life is going to do a going to Beaverton on Saturday. I have to know, Broncos Fan, are you following the cache machine track there and going to try to do all those caches? And then going to Canada on Sunday.
Ooh.
You know those are in opposite directions, right? And then...
Depends where you start.
That's true. IHAM says Sunday evening, Camp Plan Canada Day event in Newburgh, Oregon. That's GC 77 He or Hotel Echo Alpha.
There you go. And Brylang also wants to share that he does also have a Canada Day event. So Dora Moore's that we were talking about is closer into the ocean there and the river. That's in Delta, British Columbia. And Brylang, I believe, has one in Abbotsford, so a little more out in the valley. And that one is GC 768 WW.
That's Weight Watch.
That's Western Washington.
There you go. But that's not where the event is, so don't get confused.
Is that Wascally Wabbit?
Yes, I think that's exactly what that is. And Dora Moore's, thank you very much, Bryling. Dora Moore's Canada Day event Sunday morning is GC75QR9.
It's Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
Quebec Romeo 9.
There you go. Bryling is just dropping all kinds of useful information into the chat there for everybody else. Now Dora Moore's in there as well. So yeah, giving all the important information about the events, which I won't bother really adding into the podcast because by the time the podcast hits the air, the events will be done. So,
but I'm so glad to see Canada celebrated so well throughout the world. Actually,
yeah,
it's awesome. I feel like I'm going to take just a little bit of credit, not a lot, but just a little bit, for pushing for recognition of Canada this year for our 150th and getting a souvenir, a trackable contest, and a souvenir event.
Apparently bringing signal there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I was talking earlier with Gary Slinker, the Geocache Talk, who happens to be
yes.
And he's throwing the Canada Day event as well. Even
Nice.
in the country of Texas.
The country of Texas. Yeah, there you go.
I checked. I do have my Canada souvenir from July of 2015. It's dated because they did retroactively date it from whenever you found your first cache in Canada.
Very cool.
And because they're alphabetical in my thumbnail view of my profile, it comes right after California. So as I scan the rows of souvenirs, I see caca. I'm sure that's no reflection on California or Canada.
I would hope not.
Not how you say it.
All right. I'm going to my souvenirs page right now. Let's see what we got going on here. Wow.
Yes, I have BCCACA.
Yeah, BC caca. That's what I see too.
Followed by 3 million. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yep. British Columbia, California, Canada.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So I know a lot of people have been talking about when their Canada Day or their Canada souvenir was acquired.
Yeah.
My BC was acquired on the very first day that I found my very first geocache, which was in BC. So that's August 2012. But my Canada souvenir was acquired yesterday, which is interesting. So maybe there's a little bug in the system there.
Mine
Something special
was
just for the month.
acquired on my first trip up there. My BC and my Canada was the same day.
Yeah, 17 July 2015 for me.
That's funny. Let's refresh the page, see if that changes. See if it's a glitch. Nope. June 28th, 2017. That's funny. I'm special.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you?
Like short bus special.
Brian
And
Lang
yes,
wants
I did
to
log a
know if you
geocache
logged
find.
a geocache find yesterday.
I did. So maybe that's what threw the system for a loop. I logged 2 geocache finds yesterday. All right. Oh yeah, so Doramora in the chat is also talking about her event, says that we will have a chance to get photo or video footage of Signal catapulting into Canada at her event. If he lands successfully, you whoever launched him will get a chance at a special prize. So there you go. Very, very cool.
There's probably special code in the in geocaching.com to check for your name.
Oh yeah,
sure
I get
there is.
special treatment for sure. That's funny. You know, talking about the event, the Tri-Cities and all that, I wanted to share as well. When we were hanging out after the event, Chris of the NorthWest, Mrs. Lamb Monkey, myself, and Broncos fans for life, and Spreader came by and said hi for a bit. We were also talking with Rock Chalk and his wife, and then a little later, Ben and Jamie showed up with their little baby in tow, which was very well. She's not a baby anymore. They're Lucy, their little one in tow, which was cool. So we were hanging out, chatting with all those folks, and we were asked, Mrs. Lamb Monkey never asked, oh, what are you guys doing? Are you heading back tonight, or are you heading back tomorrow? Like, well, no, we're going to head over to Mount Rainier and do some more caching and just, camp out at Mount Rainier area tonight. And then tomorrow morning, kind of cache our way through Mount Rainier, get a few more of that Rainier 100 series. And I could see Rock Chalk, the gears spinning. Right? He's like, huh. He says, oh, that seems like a good idea. So the next morning, so that was Saturday night, Sunday morning, we wake up early. We're grabbing a few caches. I almost stepped on a rattlesnake, and we're heading our way up through the area, and then we get to one of the multis along the highway there, and we just after we found the cache, we're getting back in the truck, and a car comes pulling up behind us off the highway. I thought, wow, not a lot of people out this morning. I wonder why somebody would be stopping here. I turned to Mrs. Lamb and said, that's a geocacher. It's got to be. So we get out. Well, it's Rock Chalk and his wife. he says, you had a good idea. We're doing it too. So we actually ended up doing a few more caches, including a trail or two with them, which was a lot of fun. And we actually did Chris of the NorthWest's Earth cache together, Rock Chalk and I.
I saw some of those answers you submitted.
So yeah, we thought we discussed it at the geocache site, the Earth cache site, and we thought, you know what? I bet that this is the opportunity for us to really try and put together some quality Earth cache answers and really work hard on this one. And I'm sure that Chris of the NorthWest would appreciate it. So Chris of the NorthWest, what did you think of those answers?
I love them. What are the columns made of? Rock. No. What type of rock? Yeah, I was talking to geocaching.com to randomly delete 10 of your other Earth cache finds based on these finds, or based on the answers you gave me.
Hey, folks in the chat room want to know the GC code for your Earth cache.
1, I suppose.
GC1? I think not.
Let's see.
Try that.
I have to go find it. I don't know what it is. It is This one. There you go. That's GC 6 Kilo Quebec 3 Foxtrot.
There you go. While you're doing that, I'm looking up the answers that I sent you, so I'll share them with everybody.
Oh,
One moment, please. Geocaching chat's being a little slow. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And all right. Those are my second set of answers, the actual answers. Where's the first set?
Which were technically correct as well.
So here's the message that I sent to Chris of the Northwest. Regarding GC6KQ3F Rainier 103 Fipes Peak. So I did this Earth cache and I'm supposed to send an email or something. I don't know. I was there with Rock Chalk, so that should count for something. It says, what is the elevation of Fipes Peak? Really tall, like way higher than where we were standing. Why are there vertical columnar formations here? Because that's where God put them. Building from your last answer, what, in your opinion, happened to the material surrounding from the columns? It fell. What are the columns made from? Rock. In your estimate, how high above the surrounding land does the peak rise? A lot higher. So if you want to send answers like that for your Earth cache, I can pretty much guarantee your log will be deleted. So yeah, it's something I've been really wanting to do for a long time. And finally, when I'm submitting answers to somebody who I know will put up with that once from me.
Once.
That was it. You had your chance, buddy.
So I took full advantage and made sure I, enjoyed myself.
I am asked, can Dear Geocache Guy do a review on that Earth cache? I think he basically just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Please don't do that to other Earth cache owners. It's kind of the equivalent of having an archiving party.
Yeah.
Only here on Caching in the Northwest will we push the limits of geocaching.
And he says at the end, I wanted to give you a full experience of having an idiot log an Earth cache.
I did say that. That's true.
Oh, that was funny. I don't mind that at all. I thought it was fun. I did say, sorry, Land Monkey did submit the proper answers, and I said, I'm sorry, you've submitted 2 different answers, and as such, defaulted on the Earth cache code. As penalty, 10 random Earth caches will be revoked. And I wanted to make sure they weren't the 10 closest to you, so you could enjoy finding them again. I wanted to revoke the 10 farthest away from you, so that you'll never have a chance. Doramore says, I got an answer once like that, but he wasn't kidding.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Some people maybe just don't quite grasp the concept of Earth caching, I'm going to suggest. Well. Speaking of cache types, Wits End, do you think you might try your first Where I Go this weekend?
There's a pretty good chance. Sounds like fun.
It's very exciting.
I already have that loaded on my smartphone.
Yeah, but you didn't follow directions. Land Monkey told you to go download the Android app for that.
Well, that's just because that's the one I'm familiar with.
I'm going to give him the answers he gave me. The same type of answer.
The beauty of it is if you give stupid answers on the Where I Go, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to see them, and you're never going to get the next coordinates. Oh, dear. So yeah, you guys are going to go check out my Where I Go. That's exciting. I won't be able to join you for that, but Mrs. Land Monkey will, so that'll be fun. Yeah, that Where I Go is part of the We're All Connected cache series that Mrs. Land Monkey and I have put out very recently with help from our reviewer friend Skookum Bear.
What a bear.
What a bear. Yeah. And, I had suggested in the past that during the FATAS, hashtag FATAS, I might start to give little nudges or hints on some of the caches in the We're All Connected series, because we've noticed that people are kind of struggling with them a little bit, not quite getting not quite getting them to connect, as it were. So yeah, if people are interested in that, I can certainly add that into hashtag FATAS in the future as we go. I think the first one I was thinking about throwing out there was what's that? Whack number 6 in a state, it's called. So stay tuned next week. Dormar says, I gave up on the puzzles. Have they been found yet? 2 of them have been found. So there's still 4, I think that means 3 or 4 FTFs up for grab.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And apparently Mrs. Land Monkey made them too difficult because, if they can't be found in 10 minutes, then what's the point?
Well, we want them to be found, but we also wanted them to be, a little bit of work and not just sort of, hand over the coordinates. So I think we've discovered that the puzzles are maybe a little harder for folks than we thought they were.
Well, if you know the answer, they're very easy.
Yeah.
It's just like the trail out of a geocache.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the thing is, and here's a little tip for people. Keep the name of the puzzle series in mind as you're trying to solve the puzzles. That will definitely help you, especially with number 6. But anyways.
Very good. Well, I know I started looking at number 2, but I rooted it. I ran out of time on the puzzle.
There you go.
It's one of those that I think I'm in the right direction, but it takes a little time, and I haven't been able to devote it to it recently.
Awesome.
So that will give me another reason to go up to Canada once I have solved puzzle 4 times.
There you go. Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Tim Hortons.
And Tim Hortons. Oh, we're going to have such a great hashtag geocache road trip on Saturday and Sunday. Another one on Sunday. We're going to have fun. All right.
Very cool. Well, folks, until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.